I'm sending a tweet.
Hello, everybody. As I catch Mike tweeting still, welcome once again to another edition of Stogie411. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mr. Michael Williams. How you doing today, Mike?
You're going to ask me that as you just yelled at me and said, send a tweet out, tell them we are live. You're doing what we did to you on the last show. I see what's going on.
Buddy.
I'm doing great. I'm trying to send a tweet out so everybody knows we're live, the whole 5 people that follow us. But anyways, we are live. We are here today with none other than Mr. Mike Bellody from MLB Ventures. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
We're glad to have you back. Obviously, in a whole different capacity than the last time you were here. So why don't we do this? We'll kick off for somebody who may not know who you are or where you started, how you got in the industry. Why don't we start off there, and then we'll get into the whole cigar.
Sure. So for those that don't know, I was part owner of, I owned half of Tiant Cigar Group back when the reincarnation of the El Tiante blend came out. That was made out of the My Father Cigars factory at the time. I was business partners with Louis' son, Danny. For those that don't know who Louis is a legendary baseball player that got screwed again and didn't make it into the Hall of Fame yet again this year. But he should.
Agreed.
But he should be. He deserves it. And so I had that going for a couple of years. And what I'll say about that is that, as I jokingly said to the two mics a little while ago, is, partnerships are sinking ships, and so I'm not doing it anymore. Since I've started my own venture called MLB Cigar Ventures. By the way, that has nothing to do with Major League Baseball. MLB happens to be my initials. So sometimes people see that and they know I have my affiliation with Louis Tiant and the El Tiante cigar, and they start to say, "Oh, are you trying to do a baseball thing?" No, that's my initials. Very original choice of company name. But you won't see MLB Cigar Ventures on any of my products. The inaugural cigar, our flagship cigar, if you will, is called Imperia. And this cigar actually is coming out of the Quesada Cigars factory. It's a really getting a lot of great reviews from customers and some bloggers and so forth. And it's only been shipping for about a month, so I'm excited to be on and tell you guys about it.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on. Real quick, speaking of, I got to tell you, when we were looking it up earlier, and I was thinking, when I saw the MLB Ventures, I right away, because of your association, with El Tiante, have you gotten any flack from MLB, even though it's your initials, and them saying, "Hey, wait a minute,"
No, I mean, I'm not even. That's just the name of my company. Frankly, I'm not going to be. It's not going to. It doesn't show up on any of my products.
Right.
It's not going to show up on any of my products. And if I would think I'd have an issue if it wasn't my initials and I used like their font or something with the MLB.
Right.
That would be a problem. I'm not doing any of that. There's no baseball affiliation with my cigar.
Okay.
Yeah,
although I'd like all the baseball players to choose it as their victory cigar when they win.
There you go.
That's what I thought when I first saw MLB Cigar Ventures. I was like, oh, he's going to make cigars for all the teams, and it was like.
We have a Red Sox cigar. We won't make a Yankee cigar.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm kidding.
That a boy. Yeah. See? Go out and buy boxes and boxes of his cigars. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, then let's get right into the Imperia. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes.
Give us a little bit of information about it, if you could. Tell us the blend and how it came about.
Yeah, sure. It's this blend, frankly, I started working on this almost 2 years ago. And I started talking with the folks at Quesada back then. I went down to the Santiago, met with them, told them what I wanted, what I was looking for. I actually gave them some samples of cigars that I wanted to sort of use as a foundation, but then branch from there. And so we worked on it, tweaked the blend, tweaked it a little more, finally got it done. And what it consists of is that wrapper that you see there. It's kind of a nice oily wrapper. It's a high priming Dominican HVA wrapper, which is a really, really outstanding wrapper leaf. It's not an inexpensive wrapper leaf either. So I wanted to come out with a cigar that was different than what's on the market. I think this cigar is pretty unique, but it fits my flavor profile of medium to full bodied. I would say it's closer to the medium than full, but it's definitely a medium full-bodied cigar with a lot of flavor. It's got a Nicaraguan and Dominican filler and a Dominican binder. and I'm making it in 4 sizes for the market right now. I've got what I call the Pita, which is really a Corona-sized cigar. There's a funny story behind the Pita thing that you guys should talk to Brett Bowersox about at some point, my sales rep.
I will.
But he so I named that the Pita. I have that. I've got a 6x50 Toro, which I believe you guys are both smoking right now.
Yep.
I've got a 5x52 Robusto, and then I've got the obligatory 6x60 Gordo. And so that's all I've got out right now. And then I had another cigar made that I like that's just the size that I have for myself that I'm smoking right now that we call the Fundador. But it's a pretty interesting size, and I sent you guys a couple to smoke and enjoy at some point as well.
Yep, we got those. We're honored to have those. We'll smoke those later. I smoked the Pita earlier, and now I'm smoking the Toro. And I like the Pita, but I think for my flavor, I'm enjoying the Toro much.
Oh
better.
yeah, I am too.
I'm getting a lot better flavor, I think, out of it.
Yeah, last go around we had with El Teante, we had a pyramid, and pyramids just don't sell that much. Neither do Coronas, but Corona, you have to have one or the other in my books, in my view. So I decided to do the Corona this time. I enjoy it. I think it's a good cigar, but I'm with you. I prefer a 50 to 52 ring gauge cigar, and 48 to 52 is probably about the range I want to be in. But my favorite size is about a 50 to 52.
Nice. Now, is there anything with your band, with your label? I mean, is there anything specific about? Wait, wrong camera. Sorry. I have 2 cameras, one for you, one for the other people at home. So, is there anything about the band, how the design came about, or anything?
Yeah. First, Imperia is. I have a summer home in Newport, Rhode Island. I live in the greater Boston area, and I have a summer home in Newport, Rhode Island. And it would be impossible for me to come out with a tobacco product named Newport. I think I might have a lawsuit on my hands. So I decided not to come out with a cigar named Newport. I did some searching. My background ethnically is Italian, and the Italian sister city to Newport, Rhode Island is Imperia. So I came up with the name Imperia. You'll see, they won't be able to see it on the camera probably, but you'll see that on the bottom of the gold foil part of the band, there's a sailboat in there, tiny one.
Shit, my eyes are shot. I can't even read your name on it.
And then behind the word Imperia itself is sort of a shadow of a ship's wheel.
Oh yeah, I see that.
And Newport is known as the sailing capital of the world, as Imperia is one of the sailing capitals in Europe. And so I kind of went with a nautical theme with the band. I wanted the band to pop, and the designer over at Cigar Rings down in Santiago, who made the band for me, they suggested doing sort of an ocean color, and they did a sort of blue to green. So you got the blue ocean of the Northeast here and the green ocean of the Caribbean. And that's basically, and I wanted the band to be different. There was a review out right after I released the cigar. I don't know if you guys saw it. And it got a very nice review, got a 90. But in the review, he absolutely hammered the band. I mean, I've never seen more commentary on a band in my life. I mean, he basically said, I hate the band, the band's terrible, but the cigar's good. So I sent out a tweet saying, I'm thankful that nobody smokes the band, number one. Number two, the reason for this band to look like this, number one, I happen to like the band more than he does, but is people will remember the band. There's not a lot of cigars that have a band this color. And already when I've been in cigar shops just sort of popping in, people have come in and said to me, not knowing who I am actually, and said, hey, I just smoked one of those last week, and it was great. He goes, what is that? I go, well, it's Imperia. It's my cigar. And then they'll buy a box out of that cigar shop. It's pretty neat. I probably sold a dozen or so boxes just by walking around and people recognizing the band. I'm
big on bands, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now. So
go ahead.
I'm huge on bands, and the reason I'm big on bands is I feel that people, when they go to buy cigars, that's the first thing they notice, not the cigar.
I agree with you.
I think the band, it's like a fine dinner. So the band, I don't think your band's ugly in any. I could sit here and name 20 other bands that I think are horrendous, and that this band's not ugly by any means, in my opinion. But I think it's a very elegant but well-structured band. That's how I would put it. I like the blue
in the
band. I like the little subtle hidden element behind Imperial. I like that, but to me, I don't. Maybe he thought it wasn't masculine. You know, some guys had that feminine thing where
That's
you know.
for the comments he said.
He did. He said it wasn't masculine.
Not in those words, but he basically said, you know, it looks like it would be a milder cigar than it is based on the band, which I didn't really understand, frankly, because
well,
Liga Privada came out with a band that was white.
Yeah,
and I actually like that band, but that wasn't a mild. I don't know how the band color tells you after the cigar. And I like the guy that did the review, by the way. I know him well.
Yeah, and I'm not dogging him either.
I'm not discouraging his review by any stretch whatsoever.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but maybe that's what I think he was. A lot of people who see bands and think they're not masculine tend to not like them, but I personally, I like your band. I don't think it's ugly at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I think it pops. It pops with the wrapper color. I mean, it really
does
when you look at it.
Yeah, and that was my goal, frankly. And I'm going to reach behind me and get a box.
You want the band to pop because that's what they're going to see.
I don't know if you guys can see this or not.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
Well,
oh yeah.
But that's the box, and that's the same basic band design that you see there.
Yeah.
And on the black box, it really pops. And there's the same sticker that's on the outside is on the inside of the box as well.
Yeah.
So when the retailers open it, people will recognize this, which was my goal.
Yeah, and it should be the goal. But the cigar will speak for itself. So.
I mean, obviously, I'm more interested in the cigar being great than the band being great, but the band is part of the marketing presentation. And,
absolutely, the band's part of it.
You know, I can tell you this band cost about 3 times more to make than each of the bands I made for the El Tiante. Not that I didn't like those bands, but I really put a lot of effort into, you know, gold leaf, gold foil, gold dust painting, ink. I mean, that's on there. It's pretty elaborate to get a band like this done, and I actually enjoyed it a lot, and people seem to like it for the most part.
Yeah.
But we don't smoke the band, so I'm not that.
We don't smoke the band. Well, that's not true. There has been bands that you could smoke.
For another cocktail.
We have smoked bands before, but you normally don't smoke the bands. So, but that's my 2 cents on whoever it was. But I disagree with it.
Okay,
but anyways,
I'm going to take a question from the chat here a while.
Smut. We got a ton of questions.
Yeah. Foozer asked one here that I can still see on my screen. He asked, with your cigars, he likes to pair craft beers with cigars. Do you have any recommendations or suggestions to pair with yours?
You know, I'm not a beer guy. I'm just fixing my heater here because it's getting a little chilly in my cigar room.
It's cold.
All right, we're good. I'm getting old, you know, man.
I hear you, brother.
I'm not really a beer guy. When I drink a cocktail, I much prefer having a cocktail than a beer. But I would say that, you know, Quesada is really known for making an Oktoberfest cigar that they made to pair well with Oktoberfest style beers. And I think that I prefer beers that when I drink a beer, I like it to be sort of a Oktoberfest style, a little more full bodied. And I think anything like that would be fine with this because of the flavor profile of the cigar.
Right.
You know, Sam Adams, my hometown beer. Something like that. Sam Adams, Sam Oktoberfest, any of the seasonals, things like that.
I just drank, believe it or not, I thought it went well with it. I just drank a Shipyard pumpkin ale, and it tasted good with it. So that's all I'm going to say.
You're having more fun than me today.
I'm having a lot of fun. That's the whole thing of the show. Let's see. Let me get to Foodie's question because it's going to go away on the screen quick, and I don't know the answer. But Foodie wants to know, where in New York can he purchase your cigars?
Nowhere yet.
There you go, Foodie. You're screwed.
But they're coming. They are coming. I know my sales reps hitting New York City next week, and also we'll be going into upstate New York. But I would expect within short order they will be in throughout several stores in New York City and upstate New York and Long Island.
There you go.
Like I said before we went live to the 2 mics is last time with El Tiante we went national distribution right out of the gate, and I have to tell you that requires a tremendous amount of time of travel, and I really didn't want to devote that kind of time to the travel myself this early on. So I made a planned sort of limited release in New England, New York. I'll go to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and then we'll sort of branch out and mushroom out from there. But I'll take orders from anywhere, frankly. But I do that with the caveat that I'm not really planning to travel out there and do events myself as of right now. for the right customer, I would obviously, but it's not something I'm looking to push distribution fully nationally just yet.
Right.
I'm really more interested in let's saturate the Northeast, and then we'll go and mushroom out from there. And so far, that's going real well.
We're the most important places anyway, so.
Yeah, I agree. That's where we live, right? I mean, fun.
Well, Foodie, hopefully you win one of the giveaways. You won't have to worry about where you can get it. You go out and try it, and then you'll have to find it after that, after you enjoy it. So,
but if you want to order the cigars, most of the retailers that have them do ship anywhere. My distribution is being handled. When I say distribution, not sales, my shipping and warehousing is actually being handled by my good friend Kurt Kendall over at 724 and Twin Smoke Shop, and they have more of my cigars than I do because they warehouse them. So he'd be more than happy to send you some cigars. And
there you go.
Great price from them too.
Get a hold of Kurt. So let's see. We're going to lose one other. I think I just lost it. No, here we go. Foozer's got another one. It says, seems like there's a lot of new releases every month. What separates you from everyone else? Well, you're a new company, so that kind of separates you right away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably one of the newer releases.
Yeah.
New releases, but there's a lot. We have, as cigar smokers, we've got the great fortune of having so many great cigars now. And I remember back in the 90s when I started smoking cigars in the early mid-90s. You didn't know it. There were a lot of cigars, but a very few were great. You had the great ones like the Fuentes, and they were very consistent and still are. But you couldn't, Davidoff's and all of the big brands that had been great for a long time. But you couldn't find. I mean, you could walk into a cigar store and there'd be 3/4 of the cigars were really not very good.
Right.
But it was a huge boom, and so there was a lot of incentive to just put cigars out because they would sell.
Right.
I think the advent of the boutique cigar companies like ours coming out with sort of small batch and real small companies has really helped to increase the quality of the smokes that are on the market. So
right.
I can tell you this. This cigar is very unique, I think, in my opinion. Its flavor profile is very unique. It's not. It'd be hard to compare it to another cigar, but it's a really high quality cigar. I spent 2 years blending this thing, and it just started shipping a little over a month ago. So we took our time with it. I wasn't going to just put any old cigar out and try to sell it. I wanted to make sure that the cigar was going to be of the highest quality. And that wrapper, like I described earlier, the high priming Dominican HVA wrapper is a phenomenal and flavorful wrapper, and the tobacco used in the binder and filler is fantastic as well. So, and it's just of high quality. I mean, Quesada cigars, they don't skip out on quality at all. So, give it a try. I think you guys would like it, and maybe you can see for yourself what makes it a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree. There's always something a little different about most of the cigars that you smoke that are boutique, at least. I know I've had some from big names that just run together. It's like you smoke one after another, and it's like, oh, well, that tastes like this. And I much prefer, something on the boutique lines that gives me a change.
Right.
And
that's what I was after. I wanted to come out with a unique flavor profile, and so we worked hard on it. Hostos Quesada, who runs the factory down there for Manolo, really worked hard as Manolo did, and we really put our heads together and worked on this for a long time. So it is unique. It's what I was looking for, and I wasn't going to put out a cigar until it was exactly what I wanted, and this fits the profile.
Nice. Well, let me ask.
Lots of factories have sort of a consistent flavor to their cigars. I think most factories do, actually. And so you have to really go outside the box in order to deviate enough from that while still getting sort of that signature flavor that they have, but deviate so that it's a little bit more complex as well.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that.
What's the MSRP on your line?
The Corona, the Pita, is going to retail for $7.98 a stick. The Robusto, which is a 5x52, will be about $8.40.
Yep.
The Toro is $8.70, and the Gordo is, I believe, $9.40 is the number on the Gordo.
There you
So
go.
they're all under $10.
Nice.
It's I wanted to make sure I kept them pretty affordable. And the way I described it when I released it is it really is a super premium cigar, meaning that wrapper is not inexpensive. It's a very expensive wrapper. I did not skip out on any quality aspects or anything like that, and not that other companies do, but I mean I went all out to make a very high quality cigar with really great tobacco and below that $10 price point.
Nice. You want to ask Foozer's other question?
Yeah.
You see it? I can barely see it.
The one at the bottom here.
No, the one on top.
Last one I see at the top is about the craft beers.
No, there's another one. I'll ask it. Foozer's got another question. It says he wants to know, what do you find the most difficult part of putting a blend together?
I can tell you that the beauty of working with the Quesada factory is that they all speak English very well. So that helped me big time. I can understand a little bit of Spanish, but boy, I got to tell you, when we were working with my father on El Tiante, and I'm trying to communicate, it didn't always translate. So although they did a great job for us, I have nothing but great respect for that whole family, the Garcias. But
Mike and I have that problem talking together.
Yeah. So the hardest part is really sort of conveying what you want, and then they have to go ahead and sort of put the recipe together, if you will.
Right.
Come up with a blend that they think is what you want. Oftentimes, the first time you get the test blend, it's actually not what you want. You know, it's a trial and error thing. And I was in no hurry to come out with a new cigar.
Mm-hmm.
So, although I wanted to, and my goal was to come out with a new cigar as quickly as I could while maintaining the focus of having a very high quality product that fit my flavor profile.
Right.
So I just think it's just a lot of trial and error. I think the toughest part about starting a cigar company is distribution. Finding good sales reps is not an easy task.
Right.
So that was the hardest task we had with the last company I was involved with, and it's definitely going to be I know it's going to be the hardest task now.
Yeah, and he just asked, do you make a Lancero? But no, not yet.
No Lanceros. I'm not opposed to it, but no. I don't have one now.
Oh, I thought you were going to say none ever.
No, I'll make one at some. My goal is to have this grow to be a fairly sizable company, but nothing. I mean, I don't have any illusions that I'm going to become the next Rocky Patel or anything like that. But hey, if that happened, that'd be great. But I don't think that. Let's put it this way: that's probably way down the road if it ever happened. But so I'll come out with different sizes and different blends with different sizes. I'm working on a new blend right now that I just started working on, and hope to have out a little sooner than 2 years from now. I'd like to have it out by the IPCPR if possible.
So it seems like your goal for the company is to take it slow, and make sure it's exactly what you want. No rush, no pressure. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it slowly. Again, you're looking to stay small batch, boutique, and then whatever happens from there happens from there. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I had a planned limited distribution in the Northeast out of the gate. The reception that I've gotten from the stores that have carried it so far and their customers has been incredible. Mm-hmm. So I started to reach out a little bit further, and I had some customers of King Beaver that really loved my last cigar, and so they touched on they went and talked to the owner of that place, and they ended up ordering it, and they love the cigar, and it's doing well there from what I'm told. So I'm willing to expand beyond, just the New England, New York area, but I don't want to do it too quickly. I want to make sure I keep my focus on quality and then grow at a good pace, but not too quickly.
And that's one of the best things I always hear coming from boutique companies. If you want to do it right, you have to do it slow and at a just a steady pace. If you try to pop out all over the place, all of a sudden you run into problems where you don't have enough cigars or you just can't get them there. And
and that that won't happen. I mean, I'm not bad. I'll never say that, but it would take some kind of my focus for us to have to back order any orders at some point. I mean, I'm pretty cognizant of exactly how many cigars I got to be making, how many I'm going to be shipping out and I have a good inventory control system in place. So, like you said, if I start, selling to everyone across the country tomorrow, I will start back ordering people. My whole thing is customer service is huge to me. My retailers, when they become a retailer of Imperial Cigars, they're going to know they're going to get everything I've got in terms of supporting them. And I'm not going to ever put them in a position where they can't get my cigar.
What was the total number on the cigars that you made?
For this first order that I started?
Yes.
It was about 1,000 boxes.
1,000 boxes, okay.
So about 20,000 cigars, and I'm going to be placing another order as soon as the factory reopens. They're closed for Christmas break here, and I'll be placing another order to get some more made right after.
And if anybody ever has problems, they just blame Terrence Riley. Just blame Terrence.
That's what we all do.
Are they boxes of 10 or 20?
DJ Terrence knows the Peter story too, because he was there when this whole thing evolved, and he can tell it probably better than I can.
I'm sorry, Mike. Wait.
No, that's all right. Are they boxes of 10 or 20?
Boxes of 20.
20, okay.
There's 2 rows of 10 in the boxes. So if you remember the last cigar I did, it was a cabinet style box. I had 4 rows of 5.
Right.
This one is a flat sort of 2 rows of 10 box.
Okay.
I did that because I thought we had trouble making our cigars visible on store shelves with the cabinet style box.
Okay.
So I wanted to have a box that when it's open, you can't help but see the cigars.
Now, is there a place people can go? I know you don't have a website up yet. Can they go? Does your Facebook page or anything where people can find out who actually has your cigars right now?
I do. Whenever a new retailer comes on, I try to mention them. Every time I bring in a new retailer into an area, I'll have my Facebook people put a message out, a post that basically, you can tell I don't use Facebook. A thing. I'm going to put out a thing, a post that that basically says, welcome to, XYZ retailer, to our family of retailers, things like that. So they're on there.
Nice.
Well, here's another good question, Mike, from Foozer. He said, when initially releasing your blend, what do you pay most attention to? Marketing, distribution, etc.?
So my focus was primarily, one, the quality of the cigar.
Okay.
That's paramount. Nothing else matters if the cigar is not good. I mean, good marketing will sell a bad cigar once, right? But like Johnny Dangerously said in the movie, once. They're not going to come back and rebuy it. So I focused mostly on the quality of the cigar, the flavor profile I was going after. But then from there, we talked about the band, and I wanted the band to be something that pops when it's in a store shelf or is recognizable when I'm walking. If I'm smoking my cigar in a store, someone says, "Oh, I've smoked that before." And this has happened where I've sold several boxes that way at retailers because they recognize the band and they ask what it was, and I tell them the story behind how I did the cigar, and they'll buy a box. But so it's really about presentation. But first and foremost, I wanted to make sure I had a quality product. But the most important part of getting the product, frankly, in consumers' hands is getting good sales reps. Without good sales reps, it's not going to happen. And I'm fortunate to have Brett Bowersox up here in the Northeast. He was my sales rep the last go around, and he's been great for me. He's a great guy, and he does a good job for me. So I'd like to find a few more Brett Bowersoxes around the country at some point, and we'd be all set. Yeah, you got a good guy in Brett, that's for sure. He's a great guy.
Now,
I wouldn't go great. Only kidding, Brett.
Mike calls you Chris. I get you.
No, he's good.
I wanted to ask, now that you've been in the cigar industry for a little while.
It's 11:30. FYI.
No, it's 1:30.
Oh.
Yeah. Dangerous, but I can't get my computer to stop telling me what time it is every 15 minutes.
It must be a Mac.
You're going to get a 15-minute warning. Every 15 minutes, you know what time it is.
Well, I wanted to ask, now that you're in your own company with the Boutique Blend, if there's one thing that you've learned by doing this that you want to do differently for your next cigar, what would it be?
I really took the same approach in terms of making the cigar at this time as I did last time. We focused heavily on quality the last go around as well, and it was we had 2 blends, and they were both outstanding. I still love those 2 blends today, but I wanted a different flavor profile also. I just wanted to make something unique that isn't, I think when people smoke my cigar, the Imperia, they're going to smoke it and they're going to say, well, that's different than anything I've smoked. And it's not that we've infused it with any flavors or anything like that. It's just natural tobacco, but it's the blending process we went through really created a unique blend. And that's what I was after. The other thing is, if I could have redone the box design and band design on the Eltiantes, I would have done it so that it popped more. The box is sort of blended in too much. And when you have a new cigar, no one goes, I shouldn't say no one, but very few people walk in and say, gee, I got to try that Imperia. I mean, it's brand new. Unless somebody points them to it, they're not going to get it. But they might walk in and see the cigar with a band like they've never seen before, that's blue and green and got gold on it. And they might say, I've never tried that. I'll get that a shot. Or ask the tobacco owner or employee about it, and maybe they give it a shot. And I'm confident that if people give the cigar a shot, a high percentage of them will give it another shot, and it will become a part of their regular smoking repertoire.
Nice.
How many different blends did you go through to come to this final blend?
I think this was the fourth one, but they were all sort of tweaks from the original one. So originally, I believe they sent me 2 blends. I smoked them both. I actually liked them both, but they weren't exactly what I was looking for. And one blend I actually liked a lot more than the other. But as I did with El Tiante, I sent cigars to people I trust.
Yeah.
Said, I want you to smoke them. I'm not going to tell you what I think of it. I want you to smoke these, and you tell me what you think of it. And I took a sort of a poll of what they liked.
Yep.
And apparently I don't know what I'm talking about, because almost everybody liked the blend I didn't like the most. They liked that one the most. So, and then I had to rethink everything, and I'm going, okay, I get a blend off of this one and try to get it closer to what I preferred. And that's really how we did it. We tweaked it a few more times and came up with the final blend.
Well, at least it was only 4. Sometimes we've asked that question. There's been 20, 25, 30 blends before they hit the right blend that they wanted.
It can get there. I mean, it really can. But it was probably 4, but really there were sort of different incarnations of each of those 4, I would say. In other words,
right.
It wasn't like we did 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 blends essentially, but then we tweaked off each of those several times. So it took a little doing, and I wanted to make sure that it was absolutely what I wanted, and finally we got it and
sure.
Put it out and got it done.
It's your name on the box. It's your name on the blend. So
my name's on it.
You want it, brother.
It's got to be up to my standards.
Well, and that's the thing, I've always heard from cigar manufacturers, especially boutique, you have to make a cigar that you enjoy yourself, because God forbid it doesn't sell very well. You're going to have a whole lot of cigars to smoke.
Yeah, and I'll smoke what I have if they don't sell, I guess. I mean, I like them, so, but no, I mean, you're right. I think that, again, I can't say it enough. You just got to make a great cigar, and then you got to get it in cigar smokers' hands.
Right.
And not everybody's going to like every great cigar. There are great cigars on the market I just don't like.
Right.
Not my flavor profile. They're great cigars. I know they're great. They're high quality. I just don't like them. They're not for me. And I don't expect my cigar to be for everybody either. But I'm confident that my cigar will be for enough people that if I can get it in their hands to smoke it once, many of them will come back and smoke it again, and it'll be part of their normal smoking.
Right.
Now,
well,
with tobacco, now I know with you going with Quesada, I imagine you had access to a whole lot of different tobaccos. Is there something that you want to work with that they might not be able to give you?
Not yet. Although with a blend, I don't want to talk too much about the blend I'm working on now, because I'm not sure I can get it. But I did make a specific request on what I want for my wrapper and essentially what I want for the binder and filler. And I believe it'll happen. And really that's going to be a function of can they spare that particular wrapper leaf, frankly. It's not a high abundance wrapper leaf. So I would be very fortunate and thankful to them if they would make this cigar, because I actually think this blend that I'm working on now has a chance to be incredible. But I haven't even tasted it yet. So I literally am just starting this, and I put my request in and we're going to figure it out.
Now, will this be are you looking at another full release, or will it be like a limited edition? Or
I think I'm too. The answer is yes, Mike. By the way, hot man, you sent me a question. The answer is yes.
Okay, thanks, bud.
I think I'm too small a company. I think it would be fairly arrogant of me to come out with a limited edition or an anniversary. I mean, I've been shipping my cigar for 5 weeks, so I don't think I'm going to do that. If this particular blend was not able to be made in the quantities that I want, I would still have it made, sock it away, and then release it as a limited release probably down the road.
Right.
But I'd want to come out with one that I could, get enough product out there for to make it a regular release. I'm not ready to do a limited edition or anything like that.
Right. Cool. Well, I'm going to do this real quick. I just asked Mike a nice question, and Mike was nice enough to say yes, and I don't mean to hippie him. The other
I'm
Mike.
never nice.
So Mike's nice enough. We're going to do this. He's going to give away 4 or 5 packs of his cigar. We're going to give it away a 5-pack to Foodie, 5-pack to Foozer, 5-pack to Johnny, and a 5-pack to Sean. But here's the catch, guys. First thing I want you to do is I want you to tweet out thanks to Mike, thanks to Stogie411. And then when you get the cigars, I want you to smoke them, and I want you to tweet out or Facebook and make sure you include Mike and Stogie411 and let us know what you thought of the cigar. So that's the catch. We'll get them out to you. Make sure you do that. All 4 of you send your email, send your addresses to MikeW@Stogie411.com. I'll forward them to Mike Bellody. He'll get the cigars out, but make sure you do both of that for his kindness and generosity. So thanks for doing that also, Mike. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, and I hope you guys all enjoy them.
All right. So make sure you guys get that to me, and make sure I'll be checking. I better see some tweets and some Facebooks. Mm-hmm. So make sure you get them out, guys. Thanks. Congrats. Enjoy them. I know you will.
Yeah. I think you'll definitely enjoy them. So now Foozer has a question here, and it's kind of interesting. It might be a little hard to answer here, but it's what's the difficulty in finding a good cigar rep?
So one, when you're a small company like I am, I'm not going to have in-house reps. I need independent reps. I know the benefits of having in-house reps, but I'm too small. I mean, that would be quite an undertaking for a company of my size. So that's not going to happen yet. Someday I hope it does, but right now I'm not ready to do that. So I have to find a good independent rep. Here's the issue, in my view. All of the established independent reps around the country already have brands that they rep that sell very well. For them to take on a new blend requires them to put an amount of effort into that new blend that I don't think they necessarily need to make. I'm not saying this in a negative way at all, but it's a different sale now. They've already worked and done all the developed brands. They've gotten them to a point where they're very successful, partially because of their hard work and effort, obviously, and also partially because they have great cigars that they're repping. So it's hard to get them to agree to take on a new unknown. So now you have to go and find sort of a diamond in the rough, if you will, someone that maybe isn't as well known, as well established, and you've got to sort of get to know them a little, figure out if personalities work, if they're what you're looking for, and hope that it works. But sales in any function, in any business, is a hard job. And not many salespeople make it. Turnover in any sort of sales career is very high. So just by function, if I'm looking for a sales guy, means that I'm going to have some turnover because salespeople don't make it a lot of times.
Right.
But then trying to find the one that will work that maybe isn't as established is a hard thing. The local tobacco retailers to tell me, who should I be talking to? And so if any retailers out there want to send me names, I'm happy to talk to them. And I'm probably going to be looking for somebody that's not really well known in the industry with all the big brands that are well established on the store shelves. I'm going to have to find someone that's looking to build their career in the cigar industry, but has the drive, focus, and talent to do it.
Nice. Well, New York's already covered. I'm out.
Well, it's a good
New York.
question.
I think New York City technically is not covered yet.
Ah.
I mean, I have my national sales manager that I haven't announced who he is yet. I'll put it out on Facebook probably in the next week or so. He's technically selling everywhere that Brett isn't.
Yeah.
But I need his job. Part of his function is to find me new reps.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard that about independent reps. You know, with them having so many brands underneath them, it's hard. Like if you want to get in with them, it's hard for them to push your brand when they already have all these other brands doing really well.
Right.
That's right. I mean, if I were a sales rep and I had a brand that sells really well, or I had 5 brands that sold really well, I don't need a 6th brand.
Right.
What do I need a 6th brand for? Now I've got to take this 6th brand on, and I got to go work twice, 3 times, 5 times as hard to get this other new cigar on shelves.
Right.
Or I could just sell my cigars that are already selling really well.
Making me money. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I understand that. I get it. And I'm not saying that in any negative way. And a lot of these guys, most of these guys are hard workers, or they wouldn't be as established as they are.
Right.
It's very hard to get those folks to rep my cigar. And so I tend to focus on finding sort of the next up and coming rep in an area that knows cigars, loves the business, really wants to of it, and then I'm happy to bring them on and give them a shot.
Now,
Right.
what are your feelings on internet sales for your cigar?
So I have not even begun to reach out to any of the big online companies for orders. If I did get to the point where I sold to the big internet companies, I would want to price protect it, because in my view, I want to support my bricks and mortar retailers.
Right.
I want to support all my customers. So if I have an online company, a big sort of famous or Cigars International, I'd love to do business with them. I would support them every bit as much as I support anybody else, but I wouldn't do it to the point where I sort of screw over the bricks and mortars that have paid a price for my cigar, and then next thing you know, there's a catalog out there that's selling it for less than they paid me for it.
Right.
That will never happen.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
That is a great thing to hear. It really is.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Mike. Besides your cigars, everybody's always curious, and viewers and wants to know, whose cigars are you enjoying besides your own today?
I like a lot of the stuff that comes out of the My Father factory still.
Yep.
I like a lot of the Quesada stuff. The Oktoberfest is one of my favorite cigars.
Yeah.
So I smoke that a bunch when it's out. Then it kind of they run out. I got to wait till next year. I love, actually, one of my favorite cigars I've had is out of Quesada is the España. I don't know if you've had that.
Yep. I haven't had it. No.
It's hard to find, but it's a great cigar. But I like lots of different cigars. I mean, I have a humidor over here. I can probably move my computer and show you what's in there. But I love Padrones. I love My Father products. I love a bunch of rock. I smoke a lot of stuff. Of course, I smoke mostly my own for 2 reasons. 1, I made it to my palate.
Right.
And 2, I can't get a better price on a cigar than what I get on my own. Not even close.
Now there's a businessman. That's what I always said. If we're going to make one, if I'm ever going to make a cigar, it's going to be one that I like, because if no one likes it, I'm stocked up for a while.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
But I had a question on the tip of my tongue, and I forgot what it was. Yeah,
you did? That's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Question? You getting old too?
Oh.
What's that?
Forgot your question?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting old. My Lord. Yeah, I did. I just had it, and it just poof went away. I don't know.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Is there a size cigar that you will not make? And let's eliminate the ridiculous 70 ring gauge 8. Let's forget those. Is there a size that you personally are not a fan of and you won't make?
No, I'll make sizes that I'm not a fan of if the market wants that size. I make a 6x60 and I don't smoke Gordos. I don't like big ring gauge cigars. That's just me. I mean, but you have to have a big ring gauge cigar. Although I think that's slowing down a little bit as of the last year or two. I think nationally, anyways, my understanding is that the big ring gauge cigars are still pretty popular, but not nearly as much of the market as they were.
Yeah.
But if I smoke, I probably have only smoked 5 of my Gordos total. Because I just don't, I'll do it once in a while just to smoke it and make sure that it's what it's supposed to be and all of that stuff. But I don't prefer it. If I go out and buy a cigar, I am not buying a Gordo. So I'd go as high as like a 54, but my sort of sweet spot is a 48 to 52.
Yeah.
So you'll see the prices that, and I like a Corona once in a while as a quick smoke. I only have a little bit of the time, I'll have Coronas. You'll see my sizes. I've got, the 50 ring gauge Toro. I've got the 52 ring gauge Robusto. I could have done a 50 ring gauge Robusto, but I wanted a couple different ring gauges in there. And those are the ring gauges that I like.
Makes sense. I still can't. I've been trying.
I gave you time. I came up with a question. And I'm like, oh, he'll figure this out.
By the way, and it's kind of funny, but I sent a message out to Mike that I wanted him to try Skyping me this morning.
Yeah. Because
the last time I used Skype was the last time I was on Stogie411, which is in 2012, I think. 12. so back then, back then the broadcast was probably a lot better because you didn't have to look at my mug. The video wasn't working for that broadcast. But he did Skype me this morning, and both of us were wearing our best pajamas. I got to tell you when he did.
Yes, we were. 8 o'clock this morning. Yeah. 8 o'clock this morning. We got to work.
I haven't even finished my first cup of coffee at that point.
I know. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" She's sitting next to me. I'm like, "I got to test this quick to make sure everything's all right." That's going to work out.
All right,
fine. So,
I remember my question.
You got it? Go ahead before you forget.
I wanted to ask, how much time did you have to spend down at the Quesada factory to get your cigar, to get the blends right, to get everything right, or did you do most of it from your home?
Yeah, I mean, I made a few trips down there. It was probably about 4 times I went down there, 3 or 4 times. I didn't have to spend a lot of time down there. One thing about the first time I went there, I spent 3 days. I didn't even need to spend 3 days there, but what it allowed me to do was go over to cigar rings, work directly with them on the design of my band and the labels for my boxes, which was a great process, frankly. So every other time I could pretty much do it in one day. I could fly down on that afternoon, do my stuff out that night. They are a tremendously professional organization. They are their attention to detail and how they treat me and everyone that they work with is incredible. And when I get down there, it's really business. I mean, we have a good time at night. We'll go out and have dinner, have some drinks, have a cigar. But when we're there, we're actually working the whole time, and we get a lot done within a day. And literally, I'm thinking of planning a trip down there in January. I'm definitely going to Pro Cigar this year in February. I already booked that trip. And the January trip will literally be a one-day trip if I go.
Wow.
Let me ask you this, Mike. The whole limited craze. Would you come out with a limited? What are your thoughts on the whole limited craze?
I would, but I'm not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
Okay.
I mean, my attitude towards sort of limited release and anniversarios and that stuff is you should establish yourself on the market first.
Yep. And
then do that stuff. I'm not saying that's just my view. Other companies might want to do it differently, and I don't think that's right or wrong. But in my view, I want to get this blend established, come out with another blend, get that established, and then maybe I'll come out with a limited release or a limited, or an anniversario type cigar. What I am doing right now, which I haven't actually said this yet, so this will be the first time, is I'm creating a master case retailer program, which will literally be this year. It'll be 10 retailers only. I'm having handmade custom humidors made by hand from an actual carpenter in New Hampshire. They're going to be killer humidors. They're going to be fitted for my 4 sizes of cigars, and there'll be 20 of my cigars in each, 20 of each size of my cigars in each humidor. Will be 8 cigars. We'll run a promotion basically that says if you buy 4 cigars, some Foreign Perry cigars, you get a raffle ticket. If you buy a box, you get 10, something like that. And after a month, one customer is going to win that thing. So I've got my first master case retailer. Actually, I did an event there last night at CB Perkins in Canton, Massachusetts. And so that humidor is not even done yet. It will be done next week, and I'll be putting pictures out of what it is, and it's going to be killer.
That
I guarantee
sweet.
it.
Wow.
And every year I'll do another year. So this will be sort of the 2015, even though it's not quite 15 yet, master case program. And then what I'll do is every year I'll have 10 or 12 retailers. I won't do it for that many initially, so it'll probably be limited to 10. And the humidors will literally say, 1 of 10, 2 of 10.
Wow.
Nice. Wow.
It's not really a limited edition cigar.
No.
This packaging is going to be very limited.
Exactly. Well, here we got another question. Foods has got another good question. He wants to know, is this all you do for a living, or do you do it part-time?
I wouldn't be able to afford my cigars if this is all I did for a living. No. My background professionally has been in the investment management industry. And I started smoking cigars 20 years ago or so. I think the first cigar I smoked was a Garcia Vega or something. Yeah. And then somebody gave me a premium hand-rolled cigar. I believe it was an Ashton at the time, or an Avo. And I said, wow, I didn't know cigars could be like that. That's really good. So I kind of got into it, and I would smoke them when I played golf and all that stuff. But and I still do. But no, my primary job function is in the investment management industry, and this is so far a hobby that's turning into a business. And I expect that at some point it'll be big enough so that it might be a primary business. But I think that's way down the road.
Now, do you find it hard to find time?
Sweet. Well,
I'm not going to grow.
Yeah. What'd you say, Mike? Sorry.
Do you find it hard to find time to dedicate to both?
Not really. I mean, it takes a lot of time. So, I have to be very organized in what I do. My primary job is my investment management job. And so I spend more than a full-time amount of hours doing that. And then, the cigar stuff, for the most part, I can do it in the evening. The administrative part of it, I could do anytime I want, anywhere I happen to be, traveling or whatever, with a computer or my iPad or whatever. But and events typically are at night. So events that I go to don't really interfere with my investment management career. But this is not just a hobby for me. I intend on making this cigar company highly successful over time, but I'm going to take it slow.
Nice. Slow's the way to go. Well, let me ask you this, Mike. We're just about to the hour. Is there anything that we might have missed, we didn't ask, something you want to let the viewers or people know, the consumers, before we kill you off? Because I know we killed you off in 2012, but I'm sure your answer is going to change 2 years later.
No, I mean, I think my company is brand new. If you go on my Facebook page and you see the description of what the company is, I describe it something like premium cigar blends developed and owned by me.
Yeah. But
also we talked about, I did a sort of a Facebook press release, if you will, originally when I announced the formation of MLB Cigar Ventures. And I said, my background's in the investment management industry. So that name has ventures like venture capital. I have been approached and investing in other cigar-related activities, but I not anytime real soon because I'm focused on this particular cigar release. But I would just say that my attention to detail with the quality of this product, it will always be there for all future products. I won't put out a cigar unless it's of the very highest quality. I don't expect my cigar to be for everyone's palate, but I think if you guys give it a try, a large percentage of you will like it enough to try it more often than just once.
And remember, we don't smoke the band.
Yeah.
We don't smoke the band. I mean, you can if you want. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But
all right, Mikey.
All right, I gotta kill him. All right, Mike. I'm gonna put you on your deathbed, just like we did 2 years ago.
All right.
What?
Hey, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
You're on your deathbed. What is the last cigar and the size that you would smoke before you're one cigar and you're gone, what would it be?
Oh, boy. The one cigar that I would smoke before I die. That's a good one. I'm going to eliminate mine from the mix because I've smoked plenty of those, and that would be too obvious. But I would say probably one of my favorite cigars would be, I love the Padron Anniversarios, the 80th, the 40th. I like all of those, but it would probably be one of those, probably a Padron.
His answer didn't change.
Nice.
Was that my answer last time?
Yes.
See that?
I go back whenever we have a guest to see what their answers were. And your answer was a Padron. I don't know which Padron, but it was a Padron.
Yeah, it would probably be like the Padron 80th or one of their anniversaries.
Yeah, it was a Padron.
Nice.
Wow, ain't that some shit? Didn't change. Well,
the interesting thing is that cigar, my cigar, it has a very different flavor profile than that Padron.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Wow. Well, look at that. So the man knows what he likes.
But I have about.
Was that? Oh, he froze.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
Okay, there you are. We froze for a moment. Oh, Mike, listen. Thanks a lot, man. Really. Thanks for the giveaways. We appreciate it. Our fans appreciate it. Thanks for sending us cigars. We enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it.
Good.
And really, we wish you all the luck in the world. And like we said before, the door's open. Anytime you want to come back, the invite's always open. Just let us know. I
appreciate it, guys. Thanks to all the viewers and listeners. And thanks for what you guys do. You guys do a great job. And as soon as I knew my cigar was going to be out, I reached right out to you guys and wanted to get on because I really admire what you guys do. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, us being one of the first people, too. It means a lot to us. So we'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your cigar. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be in touch soon. And I'll get all the addresses to you as soon as I get them.
All right, that's great. And I'll get those cigars right out to those winners, and I can't wait to hear their feedback.
All right. Thanks again, Mike.
Guys. Thanks again.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Mike Bellody from MLB Ventures. Nothing to do with baseball. Make sure you guys in the chat room, you send us you email me your addresses so I can get that out. Make sure, I know Sean already did it, but make sure the rest of you guys who can tweet it out. And when you get it, make sure you'll tweet it out, Facebook it, whatever you can do, and let us know what you guys thought of it. Now, real quick before I hand it over to Mikey, I want to let you know we have one more show this year. And it's going to be something different. We have no guest. We're going to do a show after Christmas on the 27th, and we're going to use Google Hangout. And what we're going to do is anybody who wants to be on the Hangout with us, just send us a request on Google Plus to Stogie411. We'll accept you. And on the 27th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have any viewer who's a viewer of ours that wants to come into the Hangout. We're going to just smoke cigars. We're going to shoot the shit. We're going to shoot the breeze. And there might be a little surprise giveaway. I haven't told Mikey about it yet. He doesn't.
It's a surprise for me.
So there's going to be a surprise giveaway, maybe one or two. We'll see. But let us know. Send us a message, and it'll be December 27th, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do an after Christmas show, and that's it. So thanks for everybody for joining us today. We appreciate it, and I'm going to let my buddy end the show. So take it away, Hippie.
I thought it was great. I mean, Mike was really forthcoming with everything with this cigar company, and I think he really has it nailed down. And we've been hearing this, Mike and I, for a while now with boutique companies. Take it slow. Just take it slow, and you're going to do good. And I enjoyed the cigar. You did too, I believe. And I mean, I hope everybody else enjoys it too who gets them in the chat. So I guess
I enjoyed the bigger size.
Yeah, the bigger size I thought was better than the smaller one for my palate anyway. But people are different, so some people might like the smaller one better. Who knows? Right. So other than that,
Foozer says, you guys having any shows this year? Foozer, it's the end of the year. We had shows all year long. You losing your mind, buddy? The hell are you talking about, Foos?
Man.
I think he's losing it. He asked you. He said, "Thanks very much, sir. Look forward to trying." That must have been from Mike B.
But
yeah, so that'll be
it'll be a fun. That'll be a fun show. Everybody can hop on. It's going to be through Google Hangout. I don't know how many people can we have on at one time with video on Hangout. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think you can have 10.
Whoever, whatever.
I don't know. So I would say the first 10 that pop in,
Yeah.
you know, we'll do it. We'll have a chat going, and you can still talk on. I mean, we'll have our chat up. We'll still be live. It'll be broadcasting. So I guess if you're in the chat room and someone wants to come in, we can always ask someone to check out.
Yeah.
Someone check in.
Yeah,
So
we'll
we'll figure
it
it all out. Just go to Google Hangout and request us if you haven't already. And remember the 27th at 1. And it'll be a fun show. It's just a show just to relax. Everybody smokes cigars. We'll talk shit. And a couple days after Christmas.
Well,
so it'll be a little Christmas show.
Everybody
Thanks
except
again.
me, probably, because if I do it from home, I won't be able to smoke a cigar inside.
You're going to have to go to the cigar room. You're going to have to go up here to Pennsylvania, wherever the hell you are at. But all right, that's it.
All right.
I'm out. Thanks again. See y'all. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Whatever you believe in.
Yep.
We'll see y'all later.